Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Well, good morning. It's Monday, June 30th, 2025. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief presented by Annapolis Subaru and the SPCA of Anne Arundel County. Well, East Porter Rockin' was a blast, as always, if not a little bit warm. So if you missed it this year, make sure you plan to go next year. And some housekeeping notes. No DNB on Friday the 4th, so we're going to skip Makerspace this week on Thursday, and we're going to look for canines and crosstreks on Thursday instead. And there is a possibility that we may not have a DNB on Monday. I figure, why not take advantage of a long weekend when we can? As for your OMG fact for the day, giraffes can't yawn. Anyhow, we have some news, so let's get into it, shall we? The Maryland Natural Resources Police have recovered the body of a missing 25-year-old woman after a search in the Magothy River. Authorities were first alerted Thursday morning and discovered her bowrider-style boat anchored and empty between Gibson and Dobson Islands with her belongings on board. Aviation units, divers, and fireboats joined in the operation, locating her body near the anchor line late Thursday afternoon. Investigators are continuing their work and ask anyone who saw the boat or any activity on Wednesday evening to contact them at 410-260-8888. The Annapolis police are investigating an attempted murder after a man was threatened at gunpoint Wednesday night on Spa Road. At around 9:30 p.m., an unidentified subject reportedly exited a white sedan, aimed a handgun, fired once, then fled. Fortunately, no one was hit or injured. The suspect's identity and location remain unknown, and the Annapolis police urge anyone with information to contact them as soon as possible. Last week, we got a hard hat tour of the big changes that are underway at City Dock with the Atlas Restaurant Group's 3 new Annapolis locations, Armada and Marmo, coming to the Waterfront Hotel in early 2026, we learned. They're moving ahead after about an $800,000 structural repair delay that they had. Armada will be a Mexican cantina on the water with room for 125, while Marmo, a 2-level Italian restaurant, will seat 350 and include waterfront restrooms. And on Dock Street, Atlas plans to open Admiral's Cup this fall in the old Stevens Hardware building, just in time for the boat show season. With 2 bars, a 60-item menu, and Naval Academy touches, I think Admiral's Cup may be the in spot once it opens. We have a couple pictures at eyeonannapolis.net if you want to check out the construction. And in somewhat related City Dock news, the city continues construction of the project without a means to pay for it. And Sven Storm from Storm Brothers Ice Cream documented on his Facebook page a serious problem with runoff into the bay from the construction site. It's funny how if this was any other project, the city and the aldermen would be screaming and shutting it down and everything. Strange how that works. Annapolis is gearing up for a full celebration on Independence Day, Friday, July 4th. Festivities are going to begin with a naturalization ceremony at the William Paca House from 9 to 10 a.m., followed by a 6:30 p.m. parade starting at Amos Garrett Boulevard and going down to City Dock. Fireworks will light up the City Dock around 9:15. And you know, the calendar is my friend this year, and I will be hitting the Galesville Parade on the 4th at about noon, the Annapolis Parade and fireworks later that day, and then heading to St. Michael's for their fireworks on the 5th at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum. It'll be a good 4th of July weekend for me. On Friday on Canines and Crosstreks, we met Miss Frisky, an adorable Yorkie mix who will not last long at the shelter. Of course, we did have some Subaru news as well, and if you missed it, you want to check that out. And if Miss Frisky catches your eye, get in touch with the SPCA because, as I said, she's not going to be around too long. On Saturday on the Local Business Spotlight, we sat down with Matt Mullen, who is the president of Arundel Federal Savings Bank, and discussed why a community bank is so much better for you than a gigantic national one. All right, that is a wrap. First off, thank you, as always, for listening and sharing, and a quick thank you to our sponsors for the Daily News Brief: Annapolis Subaru, the SPCA of Anne Arundel County, Hospice of the Chesapeake, and Macmedics. Now you want to stay tuned for Ann Covington from CovingtonAlsina. She is here with your Monday Money Report, and we also have your local Anne Arundel County weather. All that's coming your way in just a minute.
Have you ever had to wait to get an appointment at the Apple Store? Skip the wait and the line at the mall by visiting MacMedics in Severna Park, where appointments are not necessary. MacMedics is an Apple-authorized premium service provider. MacMedics services all Apple devices, including broken iPhone screens and batteries, and all without an appointment. Most iPhone repairs are complete the same day and usually within a few hours. MacMedics is also an Apple-authorized reseller and sell Apple products at the same price as the Apple Store. Visit MacMedics in Severna Park for Apple-authorized sales and service and shop local. Don't wait for help. Call MacMedics at 410-757-MAX, which is 410-757-6227. It's 410-757-6227. Or visit them online at macmedics.com. Next up, we're diving into today's Eye on Annapolis weather forecast. From sunny skies over the bay to storm warnings that could impact your plans, we've got the details to keep you ahead of the curve. Stay tuned. It's all coming your way in just a moment.
Good morning, Anne Arundel. Let's get this shortened week started. Today brings thick humidity and a high of around 85 degrees. Skies will bounce between sun and clouds, and by this afternoon, we should see some scattered thunderstorms. Some of those storms might pack a punch with gusty winds and downpours. Tonight, it does stay warm and muggy with lows around 75. Probably not the night to turn off the fan. Tomorrow, you can expect more mixed sunshine and clouds and humidity with highs in the upper 80s and lows hanging around 77. Afternoon storms again are likely, heavier than today, with potential for flooding and strong winds. Wednesday finally gives us some relief. Humidity backs off, sunshine returns, and highs stay in the mid-80s. Overnight temps dip into the low 70s. All in all, it'll feel a bit more breathable and a nice break in what's been a real sweaty stretch for a while. As we look ahead, Thursday and Friday looks gorgeous, sunny, dry, and in the upper 80s. Perfect setup for a festive 4th of July. And Saturday keeps that streak going with more sunshine and warm temps near 87. No major rain in sight, just solid summer vibes. That's it. Have a great week.
Coping with advanced illness can be overwhelming, and determining the best options for a loved one isn't always so easy. But here at Hospice of the Chesapeake, your hometown hospice, we want you to know you do have a choice. You can choose exactly who provides the care and the type of care you receive, and it's your decision when and where your loved one receives that care. We have served our community, family, and friends for over 40 years. We are there when you need us. Learn how we can help at hospicechesapeake.org.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing it can be confusing. Ann Covington, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it for nearly 20 years. Are you ready? Now, here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Covington of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. The S&P 500 was up about 3.5% last week and reached a new all-time high as geopolitical tensions eased. There remain two schools of thought. One, that the rally is only beginning and we will continue to see market gains. Productivity gains from AI will bring about a current industrial revolution, spurring massive disruption at a record pace and revolutionizing the economy. The opposing school holds that we are on the brink of a recession at the least, and potentially total societal collapse. I tend to lean more towards the former and remain optimistic over the long term. In the short term, living within your means, or better yet, below your means, can have a massive personal impact. I read several articles this week about families with high six-figure incomes that are essentially living paycheck to paycheck. You may wonder how it is possible that someone can earn over $500,000 a year and still struggle. In this area, it's easier than you might think. A large home, or even a modest home in certain neighborhoods, brings not just a high mortgage, but higher property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and utility costs. Sending multiple children to private school adds up, along with uniforms, fundraisers, and lunches. Add in sports or other activities, then transportation. Many families are also philanthropic and donate significant amounts to local causes. Lifestyle creep is real. I sat with a client many years ago who was trying to figure out where his money went. I asked him to tell me about his day so far. It started with breakfast at a coffee shop near his office, then lunch out, and then he was meeting his wife and children for dinner before soccer practice. Just breakfast and lunch was $150 a week. Over the course of a year, that's over $7,000, just for his 2 meals. Eating breakfast at home and bringing lunch most days would have let him build up $5,000 in his emergency savings in a year. Saving works the same at every income level. It's just that the dollar amounts are different. Creating false scarcity helps control spending. It's a fancy way of saying you need to pay yourself first. Split your paycheck and have a small piece go to your savings account each pay period. Save in your employer's retirement plan if you have one. If not, have a portion of each paycheck go to an investment account. This just scales based on your income. Job searches have been taking longer, usually 6 months to a year for a white-collar professional to find a comparable position. This means that everyone needs to build their emergency savings, scaling back on things you may be able to afford, but don't really need, until you have at least 6 months of living expenses saved. Your action item this week is to change the air filter in your HVAC unit. As the weather heats up, clean filters improve the unit's efficiency. Check out our website at CovingtonAlsina.com or our Facebook page for more information on our upcoming educational events. CovingtonAlsina is a registered investment advisor. Information percentage of educational purposes only is not intended to make an offer, solicitation for the sale or purchase of any specific securities, investments, or investment strategies. Investments are all risk as otherwise stated and are not guaranteed. Be sure to consult with a qualified financial advisor and/or tax professional before implementing any strategy discussed herein. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Covington with CovingtonAlsina.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.